Alright guys, welcome back. We are doing another Starcraft 2 Legacy of the Void beta preview. This time it's a 1 versus 1 Terran versus Terran, everybody's favorite matchup. In the lower left corner we have myself, Furious G as the blue Terran, and in the lower right corner Giselle as the red Terran. Go right away into a supply depot. I mean, this is the first time as Terran. I got a win with Zerg and a win as Protoss as random. Then I got Zerg again, and I decided I wanted to switch it up and play my old school main raid, see how they're gonna do in the beta. And of course, my red friend over here as well, trying out the Terran. So immediately gonna go out scout. I had it in my mind right away that I was gonna see how early Reaper pressure is gonna work with all these other workers. I've had that on my mind since I first heard about that. I've been very excited to play around with it and see just how good it could be. Now, I do see he has a pretty dual gas. I mean, a lot of good factory, a lot of good Stargate units to explore. Kind of lame of me to go right away into Reapers, but then again, I mean, that's pretty much standard Terran opening, and if you want to live to see the later side of it, then you gotta go with the standard plays. All of my beta games, I've gone into it just like it was any other game, and then I just trying to adapt to the new stuff as best as possible. Zooming around like that's probably a little hard on my graphics, so I'll be careful. I don't know why he's walling off. Maybe trying to, just protect his base against that ranged unit or whatever. Could walk up in there, start harassing his worker line, killing off Marines. But my plan is to just hop up some walls. I know early on this game, a little slow start. I mean, anytime there's like a beta, I feel like there's almost like this truce between the players to sort of figure things out. But with a little bit of poking here, sees my worker trying to scout, so immediately gonna try to deny that. As he did kind of blockade the ring, he did in there. So this Reaper gonna explore, check the watchtower. Meanwhile, 2 Reapers down here. Now I thought that Reaper might go straight over into my base, but eventually I did decide to move over. I'm able to kind of see this expansion going down and stop that. So definitely a win there, as I had tried to expand jet myself. And I had not had my health bars on at this time, so I had no idea which Reapers were low, except for the ones that were taking shots, obviously. And then this Reaper over here is gonna... No way! I did not realize that. Again, did not have my health bars on. I might not have won that, knowing that. But I believe I look away there, and I just decimate my army anyway after that win. So, kind of sour about that. That would have been really awesome if I recovered that. And it was at that time I was just like, I need to have some health bars. So, I believe he does agree to the pause. Yeah, he does, so... That goes by really quick. Well, you don't even notice it in your replay. Now, I definitely at this point start to macro up a little bit. Like, I want to have an army ready, because I know at this point, he's going to have a sizable amount of troops from what I've scouted. That's kind of cool. It's like a new button. Active forces, units. Act forces are some cool new commands. So a little bit of a bad jump there. Gonna lose a Reaper. Currently got 10 Marines to my 1. I have 6 Reapers out. He's got a Widow Mine in production. I have yet to throw down my factory. Oh my gosh, I hit the B button, guys. I'm so sorry. So that actually. Didn't throw us off too far. I do decide to use these Reapers to kind of check the map. To make sure, Concussive Shells, getting some Marauders out, so probably worried about me exploring the siege units. He wants to have a good counter ready, while he himself starts making a Cyclone. So far, I've used all the units you could find in Wings of Liberty, so nothing too exciting yet on my side as far as beta exploration, but it is very interesting to see the new build times. Starting with those extra workers. I mean, to me, it makes the game a lot more fun. I feel like I'm starting off right away, making quick decisions, trying to build. It kind of reminds me of playing a game of Fastest, where your buildings almost feel slow because there's just so much income. Buildings are almost like taking too long to build. So earlier, dropping of buildings is going to be very common, I imagine, amongst a lot of strategies. Pools and first expansions will be dropped in times that would just be inconceivable in, you know, time that Starcraft has been out. I know some of you ridiculed me for saying centuries in the last video, but if you think about it, Starcraft, the original, came out in 97, 98, which is last century. In this century, we have Starcraft 2, so for centuries, it's been 1v1, and that's what we're seeing here. No Archons in this game. A nice big 4v4 map. Something that I usually do is I'll sneak a command center up here, orbital drop, especially with the limited resource capacity, 900 minerals on some of those patches, and then you do have the nice 1500 mineral patches, but I mean, you can see 300 left on those, 550 left on the nicer ones. I mean, that's not going to last forever. I've been mule dropping over here, but I do have this base set up as well, which I think I'll eventually expand to. My opponent, I'm assuming, was on 3 bases at this point, so I was like nervous having to take this long flight. I almost wanted to take this base, but I figured that would be the first one to go if I got attacked. Better pretend I'm on 2 base, hold off as best I can, and then try to come back. But this time, definitely well bought, because I invested into army quickly. But starting with those extra workers, it's just not a big deal. Music's kicking in, new soundtrack, it's nice and loud. Saw it flash on my desktop. Wonder if you guys saw that. Now, what's the visionary here?
SCV ready.
It's kind of funny. There's sort of like this obliviousness between the two of us.
Research complete.
SCV ready.
So I'm obviously not paying any attention. That thing comes out of the freaking dark.
Ready to bring some hell.
What the? So things start to get a little bit more interesting now. Army's starting to converge. Turret goes down. Opponent is now on 3 base, but at this point I've been mining 3 base up here for a minute, throwing down some extra gas. I do build another command center, which I'm now going to drop over here. It's going to put me on 4 base, so I do like that I'm staying ahead of my opponent there. Always a good feeling. I should have closed that a long time ago. Sorry guys for the spoiler of the game length. Still kind of new to this whole casting thing, and I think I should move my video over here to this square. But you know, it's nice to kind of mix it up. You can only see the shape of my little dome there. Heh. You said shape of my dome. Very funny, guys. Now, at this point, it's kind of the Cold War. You know, we had like a little engagement there. I don't think he was feeling too confident. At the same time, he's probably like, you know, I want to explore some of these units. I got my starports out. We got a Liberator, which this is so cool, by the way, guys. Like, I mean, I've been trying to be a random player, playing lots of Zerg, lots of Toss. Every night I get a little taste of Terran, and I'm all like, oh, I gotta be Terran. The truth is, I love Terran, and with these new unit upgrades, it's gonna be harder than ever for me to stay away from it. We do have Ravens above me. Dropping the turrets. I think missiles right off the bat would have been smarter. Maybe it was a misty. To try to blow away the infected unit instead of my whole army. A little bit of a panic click there. Siege tank in great position here behind the rock. Didn't even know where it was at first. Another one back there. Liberator is a siege tank in the sky. They got siege tanks on the ground. So I am kind of holding over here on the defensive flank. I really like this map positioning left versus right, red versus blue, good versus evil. I mean, this is a tale of the century, folks. Here we got new units, we got higher worker counts. I mean, this game is more exciting than it's ever been. I mean, Heart of the Swarm, I'd say, was a little bit of a letdown as far as what we'd expect out of an expansion. I mean, just a couple of tweaks. I mean, I definitely like a lot of the changes that came with Heart of the Swarm, that even Heart of the Liberty, like the auto rallies and stuff like that. But the extra workers is finally giving Starcraft the pep in its step that it needed to cause just absolutely bonkers games. I mean, taking this to the next level. I mean, every bit of Starcraft we've seen and played has prepared us for a game of this magnitude, where our brains won't explode from the intensity that is taking place here. Absolute carnage. Game time is running in real time. I think it would be a lot longer, but this is 12 minutes of our actual life. I'd say right now it's really picking up as me and my opponent have finally started to get our acts together. These little siege clouds, I have no idea how they work. Is it temporary? Is it overtime? It's just like a siege tank, I guess. You gotta lock it down. So I guess it makes them a little tricky to move. Now I'm creating some of my own, like, I kind of did everything on the back end here. Watch what I do here. You guys are gonna be absolutely astonished. I cancel my vehicle upgrades. Like, almost done. I say, fuck it. No language. I mean, I'm not really feeling ground anymore. I'm like, you know, this is gonna be a battle of the air. Starting my air upgrades right away. And as soon as I canceled it, I was like, ugh, those are kind of close to finishing. I mean, maybe I should have just let them finish, and maybe I should have, but I mean, I got this little triangle base up here that I'm starting. I mean, completely under the radar. You gotta scout the whole map. Not just in the beginning, a little bit here, just send one worker around, or one unit, and just see what's on the map. Like, ever since, like, I played, like, Age of Empires and stuff, so I was always looking for those little bases. Really big battle here. I got some of my own air units now, my own Liberators moving in. Got the Viking. He's gonna pick off his Liberator. All he's got to deal with that are the Marines. Liberator just barely holds up now. Be interesting to see how much worker repair is gonna come in handy now that mech is just so crazy. And I see that they split these upgrades apart, and I'd say that's very fair because Terran with basically 2 new mech units, top and bottom, would be overpowered if those were rolled into the same upgrade. This music is crazy. I feel like it's changing tracks kind of randomly. Mule Farm over here, he's trying to get that. Well, he's got a lot of resources, but not a lot of supply. You know, looking over my opponent's base, I'd say he just needs. He's doing well with the new game, but he's probably not used to having so much income. Because all you're supposed to do is grab a group of workers and just spam out a bunch of barracks, just like that. You spend those resources, and you give yourself the production to just mass an army. You get those 3 starports instead of 2. You get the 7 barracks instead of 2 or 4. He's got 3 and he's building 1 more. Like, you gotta build like 5 more, 6 more. All about holding shift, clicking. I was gonna do a noob tip of the day, because I'm a noob. Like, I'm an evolved noob where I'm a little bit better at the game than somebody who's really bad at it. And I've learned to just try to spend those resources. Like, I don't know, I'm already up to 2,000 from all these bases mining out. I'm not really hitting the production tab right now because I'm just fascinated with my new area units. They're just so fun. But it does look like that cleans up the game. Gonna pull the win. Thanks again for watching, guys. I mean, if you subscribe, follow me on Twitch, TV/FuriousG420, Facebook, FuriousG is my group. Follow me there. I don't care if you do or you don't. It's just some idea I had. I'm still throwing all this together. And then, of course, on Twitter at FuriousG. Thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.